Today we'll be starting the quest to find which character has the best punishment in Tekken 8. First up, we have 10 frame punishes. Hope you enjoy. When trying to calculate the strength of a punish, damage is the obvious big variable. Damage isn't everything though, and the situation you're left with afterwards can be game-changing. Some characters' 10 frame punishers leave them at huge frame advantages, leave them in stance, knock down and give them Oki or wall splat to be situationally far more effective. For my rankings, besides damage, I've put a high priority on knockdowns, with higher priority for good Oki. Some moves don't knock down, but do a ballerina spin that will wall splat, which is really powerful still. As for frame advantage, there's a threshold at +5 frames, as typically it leaves your opponent unable to sidestep, which makes it significantly better. As for stances, most stance transitions are optional and give you additional frame advantage for choosing to go into stance. How good the stance transition is entirely depends on what stance options each character has, and arguably it can be worse to go into stance sometimes due to it limiting your offensive options. I've tried to rank stance transitions fairly, based on each character's options. However, this isn't a strict objective ranking, rather my own opinion that's been informed with most of the relevant data. This goes for how important frame advantage is, the Oki is, the wall splatting, and so on. For Lee in particular, I'm assuming everyone has perfect execution, but you can adjust the strength how you deem fit. In Heat, his moves get auto-just frame inputs, so take it as you will. One thing I'm not taking into account is range. For 12 frame punishers and above, I'll definitely include range, but due to everyone's jab ranges being similar relative to their 12 frame range differences, I haven't included it. But don't worry, I'll be posting a jab range comparison sometime soon, so we can use that to adjust the rankings how we deem fair. There may be some 10 frame moves not on this list. If it was strictly worse in every situation, I didn't include it. Some characters have different options that give more damage, more frames, or a stance transition. If there's a use case, I've tried to include it. If I'm missing something, feel free to let me know in the comments. A few characters have better 10 frame punishers when they're in Heat, which I've included in this list. But I'll give you the data on best punish without Heat, best punish without other requirements, etc. And as always, we'll have a tier list at the end for the skippers. If you're interested in seeing all the numbers, it'll be available on Discord in the Discord Tech channel. So, of course, Jack takes the cake, but he can only do it once per round. The character with the best 10 frame without Heat is Lee. But Lee's requires a lot of execution, so the most reliable best punish goes to June. And an honorable mention to Yoshi and no sword stance. June does self-damage, and Yoshi has a prerequisite, so the next best punish goes to Lily. Without Heat, Lee has the most damage. Then June. Then tied third are Yoshi, Jin, and Devil Jin. Last of all, the biggest frame advantage goes to Zafina, with a whopping +22 on hit. And of course, here's a tier list for you to look at. I hope you learned something today. Enjoy your day, and as always, thanks for watching.